10x Africa.
The next one has to do with your efforts. You must learn the power of compound efforts. Compound your efforts. I'm an investment manager, so I understand the power of compound interest, for example. Simple interest is that I give you 100,000 naira or $100,000. I like to speak in dollars. I give you $100,000 and I expect that on yearly basis, you pay me 20% of that $100,000. So at the end of year one, you pay me $20,000. That is 20% of $100,000. If I keep getting 20% every year, at the end of 5 years, I'm going to double my $100,000 because you have given me $20,000 every year for 5 years. But there's what you call compound interest. If I choose to leave the $100,000 with you for 5 years, what happens is that $100,000 generates $20,000 the first year. By the time you add it to the 100, it's $120,000. The second year, my investment starts reading with $120,000. So at the end of the second year, the 20% I'll be getting is 20% of $120,000. And by the third year again, it keeps growing. At the end of the fifth year, rather than getting a total of $200,000 as the total money plus interest and capital, I'll be getting way more. The same thing in life. We must understand the power of compound effort. People give up too easily. And because you give up too easily, you have to start processes over and again. I mentor a number of young people, and I see this a lot in the way they live their lives. So somebody come to me today and say, I just have an idea. I want to start teaching classes, and I plan that this year I want to have not less than 100 students in my class that will be paying me $50,000 maybe dollars or $5,000 or $2,000 every month. The plan is clear. He knows the job. He knows how to teach. But after 6 months, he couldn't get up to 10 people. And maybe out of the 8 that joined, by the 7th month, they turned 3. And because of that, he just feels automatically that I shouldn't be doing this. Then by the 9th month, he comes back to me and say, that seems not to be working. I have another idea now. This time around, I want to go into photography. And he's trying to raise money to buy a camera. Now he buys a camera and, started trying to get across to people to give him photography job. And after 6 months, he comes back again and say, I just suddenly realized that people no longer patronize photographers because of the advent of phones, not knowing that there are photographers still making big money. Maybe all you need to do as a photographer is to focus on B2B. You are not focusing on B2C. You are looking for businesses that needs your services, that cannot compromise getting quality pictures. So they don't want somebody to use a phone to do something for them. Now, after another 6 months, he comes back again and says, photography is not working. I want to go into network marketing. Now, what happens is that the effort that goes into the first business, as at the time it gets to the 8th month, that steam has been lost. You pick another business again, you lose steam. You pick another business again, you lose steam. Am I saying that you should always stick with things not working? No. But we must understand how to compound effort. Most of the greatness we have seen in life came from people that have that staying power. They are able to build on the effort from one point to another. I don't know what you're doing right now. You are getting discouraged, and it's looking like that is not meant for you. You are closer to the finish line than you ever thought. All you need to do is to compound your effort. You'll be shocked the kind of result you can get. I met with a young friend of mine today, and he was sharing with me how that after 4 years of being in business, they eventually got a big contract from the United Nations. And when United Nations was going to give that contract, part of the screening criteria was that you must have been in business for at least 3 years. Now listen, There were people doing better than them that started just 2 years ago. But because they did not meet the criteria of being in business for at least 3 years, United Nations did not pick them. But because he had the staying power, even when the business wasn't working well, he stayed with it and kept being creative, innovative about the business. And all of a sudden, see how goodness smiled at him. And he got a United Nations contract. And it's a very big one. Why? He compounded effort until he got results. The next one is avoiding toxicity. You must avoid toxic environment. You must avoid toxic people. Now, in most cases, the kind of environment you create around yourself determines how far you will go in life. Now, I've seen people that started things with so much energy, but where they made the mistakes of their life was when they went to people with toxic nature and share with them what they are doing or what they are planning to do. And all of a sudden, the same thing that used to excite them became something they don't want to do any longer. You must always stay around people that motivate you, people that push you to do the right thing. Now, you must always look at your circle of influence. What kind of friends do I have? What do they tell me? How do they feel every time I share my wins? If you have people around you that when you are getting successful, they are not happy, those are people to avoid. You don't want a toxic nature around you. We call it negative energy. You need energy, but not negative one. Anyone that is assuming negative energy around you, you must learn to avoid them. But it's not just people, it's also environment. If you work in a place that you get to the office, people don't smile, everybody gets overly serious, be wary, be careful of that kind of place. If you have bosses that every time they come in, everybody is scrabbling for where to sit, where to go, be wary of that kind of place. You must be in an environment that inspires you. You must be in an environment that wants you to do more, an environment that helps you to collaborate. Because in life, you can't go far all by yourself. If you want to go far, you must go with... Now we're drawing close to the end of this session, and we'll be talking about the 9th way to 10S your personal growth. And it is staying hungry. They say an hungry man is an angry man. But an hungry man is also a desperate man. There's positive desperation in life. Recently, we had protests in most parts of Nigeria. And when people started questioning the reason for the protest and wanting to know who are the sponsors of this protest, the interesting thing is people said hunger is the primary sponsor of the protest. Now, there are things you will naturally not do, but when you are hungry, you get to do them. When you are hungry, you lose patience. In most cases, you just want the food right away, you want to consume it. That same attitude, if you bring it into your life, staying hungry always for success, you will realize that you will begin to take desperate steps, make desperate moves. And the kind of desperation we're talking about here is a positive one. You have to be ambitious. I've never seen anybody becoming highly successful without being ambitious. Let's look at Dangote, for example. He's known as the wealthiest man in Africa. Check out the kind of projects Dangote embarks on. They are desperate projects. Look at the most recent one. That was more like a suicide mission, taking on a refinery that is costing him almost his value as the richest man in Africa. Meaning that if he lost that refinery, if that refinery goes negative, it's going to affect his position as the richest man in Africa and most likely bring him to a way lower class than where he is right now. But because he understands that you need to stay desperate, you need to stay ambitious, which comes from being hungry, he knows that the more of such tasks that he tries to undertake, the better it becomes in life. Now look at your own life today and ask yourself, what is it? What is it that I am desperate to achieve, that nobody can talk you out of it? If you really want to become successful and you want to develop yourself and grow yourself, you must maintain that attitude of being hungry, telling yourself, I will make it regardless of the circumstances. There are always reasons why you should not do what you are supposed to do. But every time something tells you why you should not do it, you should also tell that thing back, the reason why you should do it. Most of the time, the target that you have set ahead of yourself is part of the motivating factor that makes you want to achieve what you want to achieve. Maybe you got into a year, for example, and you told yourself, this year, I want to 10x my personal growth. And for me to 10x my personal growth, there are things I should be doing. Maybe one of those things is that on daily basis, you want to ensure that you read a book. So you pick a book today and you start reading it. Immediately you are through reading that one, you are picking the next one. Why are you that hungry? You are looking for something. You are looking for information. Until you find it, you are not coming out of it. That's an hungry man, consuming the material voraciously. So as you are finishing one book, you are picking the next one. As you are done with that, you take the next one. Why? You are looking for something. That's an hungry man for you. So if you want to 10x your personal growth, you must stay hungry. I'm glad we're coming to the final one for today and this session, which is the attitude of gratitude. If you don't appreciate the little that you have, it can never multiply. The whole discussion is around multiplication. 10x is about multiplying whatever you have by minimum 10. But listen to me, that which you have that you think is small, if you understand the power of gratitude and how to acknowledge and appreciate that little, it will always multiply. Now, there's no one that does not have talent. The challenge is some people see their talent as too little. So because they felt it's too little, they hid it under the ground. I know you must have seen the parable about the 3 people that were given talent. One was given 1, another was given 2, another was given 5. The one that was given 5 multiplied the 5 to 10. The one that was given 2 multiplied the 2 to 4. The one that was given 1 did not appreciate that one and felt the master did not give him good enough talent. So he hid the talent under the ground, and the master was disappointed. And at the end of the day, he took that one and gave to the more productive person. In life, you must learn to appreciate what you have. I look at the social media, and most of the time, I see the people that have become celebrities in quote. They are not necessarily the smartest people. They are not necessarily the most intelligent people. But they are just people that appreciate the little that they have. While you are still busy trying to polish your grammar, and the reason why you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing is because somebody told you need to go to one finishing school. So you are trying to finish the school. And in the process of finishing the school, you have finished yourself. Someone else picked that same thing that you should be doing, did not mind whether people will say I'm speaking good grammar or not, and started it. And before you know it, he did one video, the video went viral, and many more people started jumping on it. That's the way life is. Whatever it is that you have, you must learn how to appreciate it. And the way to show gratitude is that you use that thing. Whatever talent it is that you have today, whatever material, appreciate it. I learned something from one of my mentors. He said whenever people are giving reports to him, that there is a statement that he doesn't like hearing. Maybe somebody wanted to report finances, and he said, yesterday we made only $5,000. It tells you keep quiet. What's the word only? We made $5,000. That only makes it look like you don't appreciate it. You were expecting to make $1 million, but because you made $5,000, you said, we made only $5,000. The attitude of gratitude that celebrates the 5,000 will make the 1 million come. Because what gratitude does for you is to put you in a frame of mind to think about bigger things. Because everything that will happen around our lives, just like where we started from, starts with the frame of mind that you have. So I'm connecting the attitude of gratitude to where we started from. That is the foundation, and the attitude of gratitude is like the roof of the house. And these two must connect every time for you to 10x your personal growth. I know definitely I will have opportunity to come across your way again. And when I come across you, I want to see you in a multiplied stage, because where you are right now will be the least that you will ever be. Thank you very much for listening to me. Bye for now.